First of all, my name is Beth Paul. The sticker fell off because it's just too hot out here. So I've been doing calligraphy ever since I was young, before high school, and we don't need to go further than that. I have studied with some of the masters. It wouldn't do any good to tell you about them because calligraphy is a different world, just like other types of art. I wouldn't know some of the painters that you might mention. So to tell you about the calligraphers, take my word for it, there are some absolutely awesome people out there. And I have tried to study with all of them that I could. One of the people that I was able to study with, I will tell you, is Donald Jackson, who was the scribe to the Queen, to the crown. And the reason I mention him is because you might have heard of him coming over from England to work on, or actually organize and write, the St. John's Bible. It took him 7 years. He had a staff of 5, and he did it, I forget exactly how many pieces of vellum that he worked on. This is an incredible man. And there are so many others. I could just sit all day and talk about it, but we got a lot of work to do. So what I want to do, first of all, is start at the very beginning. For those of you that don't know calligraphy, I want to introduce you to the language of it. And so you know what you're looking at, what tools you need in order to get what you want to do. So first of all, I have 2 different pens here. You see this one? You see it there? Okay. So that is a pointed nib. That's going to give you something like this. That's your pointed pen for your scripts, and it gives you thicks and thins. And the way that works is you dip it in, and I will show you, this is my own personal thing here, so that I don't spill it all over a table. I just have a little bitty, what they call a dip pen. I actually use a shot glass at home, but I didn't feel like I should bring that. And this is just a sponge that I have cut the holes out, and this is what I use. So I just dip this in. It's a nice depth so that I don't have to dip it in this big bottle. And when I put a stroke down lightly, it'll write. When I put pressure, see how that separates? Yeah. So when you do that, which it doesn't want to hold today, so let's try it again. There. So this is called pointed pen. So you do something like this. And I square off my tops. I cheat. Oops. Okay, that's pointed pen. We're not doing that today. I just want y'all to know that's what that is. Okay, so, and the other old-fashioned thing I do is, and you're not supposed to do this, to clean off my nib, I just kind of use the tip of my tongue. So that's just the habit that I've gotten into. Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to use what's called a broad edge. Now, this one is used, as you can see, you see how tiny that is? Well, this one is bigger. This one is more like the marker that you have. If you look at your marker, you will see you've got 2 sizes. The broader one and the smaller one. And I'm going to explain the sizes to you in just a minute. But it's called a broad pen, and it still has a slit in it, but not as much. And this is what happens when you use a broad pen. You see that? Now, one thing I want you to look at on your handout. This one that's got the drawings across the top. Okay, everybody look at that. And I'm going through this really, really fast because I want to be able to have y'all do a little bit of lettering. So if I'm going too fast, just ask me the questions, okay? Now, up in the left-hand corner, we're going to talk about that in a minute. But if you look over here on the right-hand side, okay, this right here is talking about pen angles. And what you need to know about that is, take out the widest one you have. Take the top off. We're going to use it. The wide. So when people want to know how you hold it, and I'm going to tell you the secret. It doesn't matter how you hold it, as long as you know what it's supposed to do. I actually know of a calligrapher that did not have hands, used toes. Okay. People say, well, are you supposed to sit up straight? You're supposed to do this. I slouch, crisscross, whatever. But I know what the pen's supposed to do. And I'm about to show you right now. This is the secret. If you go and you buy one of those calligraphy books, anybody ever done that? You've seen them at Hobby Lobby or whatever, and you've seen these books, you're going to learn to do calligraphy, and then you get it, and you're like, here's the secret. Look at the way I'm putting this down. You see that I've got it parallel to the line. When I do that, it's going to make the thickest line it can make. Okay. When I turn it to the side and I pull it down, that's the thinnest it can make. Everybody understand that? Mm-hmm. When you do a 45, and if you look on your pen angle sheet there, see where it says 45 degree? Mm-hmm. When you do a 45 degree and you hold that angle, I'm going to put it right here. See, here's my 90. This is the 45. Mm-hmm. When you pull that down, it makes a nice, neat line. Everybody understand so far? Okay, I'll do it again. If it's turned completely to the side, it's a thin line. Correct? Okay. So draw it. I want you to feel what it feels like. It's hard to do sometimes. Kim, your left-hander, I'm so sorry, lady.
No,
It's just find your best.
I'll find my best.
Yeah.
I'll play with it.
Okay. So most of the time, you do not want to hold this pen completely vertical like that, because you're not going to get the best thin line. You're going to go back with something else, a ruler or something, to get the thin line. When you're doing calligraphy, you're going to keep it at some sort of angle. And I've got the angles on here that are used most often. So if you think about this grid, this is why I asked for the grids. This is your grid, and you're going to do a 45 with that pen angle. You see that? So do that on your paper. Hold your nib. Hold your nib at a 45 degree angle. This is the most difficult part. And if you can get this part, you're good to go. Jack you up, so. We're learning to use the broad pen. But you gotta get it back.
Thank you.
Okay. Does everybody understand the pen angle? This is the part that you need to get. If you don't, raise your hand and I'll come show you.
So we're making like a slanted L kind of. So
You are holding that pen angle at slant.
go straight up at an angle.
You don't want the angle of the pen on the paper at a solid stroke, because it's not going to look good. Trust me. You're going to use a 45-degree angle. And this will take some getting used to, because you're going to hold it at a 45, but you're going to draw straight down. So I want you to draw some of those so you can get them pretty good. Nice and straight. That's why I wanted the grid paper. It's very, very, very hard to do this at first until you get the hang of holding that angle. Now, after you've done some vertical strokes, try some horizontal strokes. 45-degree angle, completely sideways. See how that's split? Now, when I told you, you asked a question about the markers. Well, I don't like markers. And I'll tell you why. They let you cheat. Because if you look on my paper, you can tell, see that right there? You can tell that's not a good cover. If I put my pen down and I'm not holding it exactly right, you can tell that.
Yeah, I got that.
You can get away with it with a marker, because the marker is softer and you put pressure on it, it's gonna make it look better. So I do not like people to start out with the marker. I want them to learn how to do this pen. The other thing is, if you're sitting there at 9 o'clock at night and you're holding a red one and you run out of ink in that marker, what you gonna do? Well, using a broad pen and dipping it, you can mix your own colors. You are not restricted at all. You can use watercolor, you can use acrylic, you can use any color you want. So that's why I'm a stickler for starting people out with the broad pen. It's my version of learning to tie your shoes, don't go with Velcro. Use it later when you know what you're doing. Okay? Now, does anybody have a problem with making these strokes? Are you good?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, let's take a look. I want to make sure.
Right.
Mine's won't go, the thin I can make, but the York thickness,
We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that.
okay.
Okay. See this right here?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to hold this nib at a 45-degree angle like that.
Right, okay.
Oh, see, I've already got a marker that I don't like.
Yeah.
All right. So you're going to put this right here
Uh-huh.
and you're going to bring it straight down.
Oh.
That is a 45-degree angle.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
then you're going to practice going this way.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome. Watch your angle, because that's
Okay.
not exactly 45. And if you want to put it up against that 45 and then bring it down, you know what I mean? Here. When you do it like this, you see there's your 90. There's your 45. So just come up here and match it and come in. Okay. See, that's a nice 45. How you doing?
Terribly.
Okay.
This 45.
That's looking pretty good. Now, see, the marker is letting you cheat. Look at it. So you want to hold the nib. See, it's not exactly straight there. That marker. See, that's what you're aiming for. This is not letting you put the whole thing there. And 45-degree angle should look like that coming down. Okay, how about you? It's looking good, but but this one you kind of back it off. You're in charge of that marker. Make that marker do what you want it to do, okay? And then over it this way. Okay? How you doing? Oh, yes. Okay, that's looking good. That's looking good. I like your angles right there. Very good.
Oh, very cool.
How you doing?
I don't know.
That's good. So I want to make sure you got the principle, you practice it here.
Oh, I got it. Finally,
So
dummy
here's your
me.
angle. Yeah.
Finally, after making 1,000 of them.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, we're not going by these blocks. That's one thing I want to tell you. We're gonna do that next. Don't worry about filling up the blocks.
Okay.
No, okay. You just need the grid to show you the lines. Awesome. This is getting you there. So then I'm just gonna keep it. Make sure it's flat on the. I'll give you one, so you know what to stop, so. Giving it a shot, and the angles is pretty good. That's right. How you doing?
I don't know.
Oh, yes, ma'am. You've done this before. Yes, ma'am. How you doing? Okay.
Terrible.
Well, first of all, don't even talk about the wickers. Okay, we're gonna get there. All right, so you're gonna practice these strokes. And you're gonna have that 45 degree, and you're gonna keep that nib at a 45 degree. No matter how you move your hand, that's gonna be a 45 degree angle. That's what I was saying. It doesn't matter how you hold this thing. I can hold this thing any way in the world, but I know that that's gotta be 45. And then that way I can. This.
Yes.
This right here. See that angle? So you take this pin and you put it angle. You turn it, lock it in. You just kind of lock it. And I might be able to get it fast. All right. This is the key to this alphabet. Okay, see how that's not a straight. This one's gorgeous. That one's cheap. How you doing?
Making pretty lines.
Well, you're letting it cheat.
Yeah.
Take control of it.
Some of them are not so great.
Yeah.
Some of them I feel like I'm getting a little bit hurt.
That is so totally okay because of the marker.
Yeah.
These steel nibs that I have,
Won't let me do it.
it won't let you do it, but the markers will let you cheat. So that's what I wanted to point out first of all. Now, everybody's practiced that a little bit.
Okay.
We're gonna go back over here and start talking about how you're gonna get letters on the paper. First of all, you see you've got two different sizes of nibs, correct? You can't write the same letter with each of these the same way. You've got to judge how you're going to write your line that you're going to write on. You've got to judge by which nib you're going to use. So if you look at the left side of this handout, okay, you see letter height. That is based on which nib you're using. So the first thing I want you to do is, I want you to take the big nib, because everybody can see this one. Big nib. And I want you to pick a line on the paper, doesn't matter where the line is. So I'm going to start like right here, okay? And I'm just going to put a little line there, okay? All right, you see this? Okay. So, and I usually use, this is how I do. Okay. So I'm going to draw a line right here. Okay. That's where I want my letters to sit on. Gotcha? So I want you to pick a line, like I just did right there. I know you don't have pencils to do that with, but I just want you to get the idea. This is the baseline. You see over here on number 3 where the word boy is? You see where it says baseline?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. From there, you're going to take your nib and you're going to turn it completely sideways. Remember when I told you up here at the top, if you put it flat against there, you're getting the full width of the nib. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want you to turn it sideways, and I want you to come over here to your line, and I want you to draw a square with that nib, because that is the size of this stroke that this pen nib will do. Now, does that make sense, or am I off the page? Everybody okay with that? Okay. Then I want you to take another one, put the tip at the edge of that one, and make another one. Okay. Now, this particular hand, it is not a font, people. Do not call it font around a calligrapher. That is not good. That is not good at all. This is the foundational hand. This is the basic one, and I'll explain why I picked it for you later. But this is 4 pen nibs high. It's called your X height. That means your letter, your lowercase letter, is going to be 4 pen widths high. So you're going to go over here to your little grid that you're making, and you're going to go up another pen width and another. See how it's a checkerboard? Now, I know some calligraphers, and I used to do it that way, but I started running out of room. They will do it this way. They'll just go like a stair step. If that's easier for you to do, then do the stair step. Okay? Everybody there? Are you still with me? Everybody understand that? Okay, now, once you've done that, here's my pencil. You see where this is right here? Now mine's wet, so I don't want to get into it. But you see where the top of that stroke is? Okay, that is your 4 pen nibs. You see that? So I'm going to draw a line right here. And if you look out, and of course it's going to get messy because I like to use a dip pen. Have that problem. Okay. So you see what I'm talking about, how it's 4 pen widths. So when I do this, and I don't want y'all to do it yet. You're not doing lettering yet. Hold on. So when I do an I, that's 4 pen widths. You see that? Okay. Now, this foundational hand uses 3 ascenders and 3 descenders. And I know that's like, what? If you look up there at the word boy on your page, it'll make sense. See how the O is the 4 pen widths, and the ascender of the B goes up 3, and the Y goes down 3. Does everybody see that? You see where I'm going? Okay. So this is how you lay out your lines. Now I'm going to show you why. I'm using this pen width, or this pen rather, but maybe I'm thinking I don't want it to be that size. It's why should I do 4? Okay, well, let's do an eye this big. that's okay. Well, if I do it this big? That's not as pretty, right? What if I do it, 2 pin? Well, that's like getting kind of slunch, for lack of a better term. See, all of your pen nibs have their own specific size that they look best. So now I want you to put the top on that nib and switch to the small one. And we're going to do that again. So you can use the baseline that you have already. You can start at that line. You're going to turn your little bitty nib, and mine is little. I don't even know if you can see it. But you turn it sideways, and you're going to, if it'll work, there's that square, there's that square, that one, and that one. You see that? It only filled up one square on this graph page. See how small that is?
Mm-hmm.
Making sense?
Yeah.
Okay. You worried? Okay. I'll go ahead and we'll do the rest of this and then I'll come see what's up, okay? All right, so when you go on up, this is for this nib. So it's still 4 pin widths. You see that? It's a very different 4, yes. So this is not even that whole square. It's not there. Oops. Okay. There. There's my 3 lines. And every time you switch a nib, if you're doing something that's got 4 different sizes, and I do more than that, 4 different sizes of a nib, you have to redraw these guidelines. And then it's a pain, but I'm sorry, this is the life of a calligrapher. That's just what you have to do. Now see what happens when I use this little one. There's my eyes. See? And if I go bigger, it gets skinnier and skinnier. See? And they don't look right. So that's why I wanted you to have the markers with 2 different nibs so you would understand that concept. Okay? All right. Any questions? All right, I want to take a look, make sure y'all got that. Because it will make a difference in your calligraphy. The one thing, you don't have to be a wonderful calligrapher. If you are consistent, it makes all the difference in the world.
No.
Okay. So this is your baseline.
Right.
Then turn just down.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna match this dot to go up a pin. We're measuring that. That's how big the pin.
Okay. Do that one more time. I'm
Well,
sorry.
we're not done. yet. You got to do this one. And then you have to do that.
Oh.
And this is the size. This is where you want to draw your lines. This.
Let me see if I can go.
Mm-hmm. There you go. There you go. Uh-huh. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Only thing is you do want this and make it touch this. You are getting the edge of that pin. And that is going to tell you how big where your letters,
So I'm supposed to start there and end there.
for the
For
lowercase.
the lowercase,
Mhm.
okay.
That's where the lowercase are gonna live.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. That good? Good.
I don't know if they're your pretty little squares, but.
Well, we're gonna make the pretty squares in the world as soon as. You can go this, but try to get right on the. There. Okay. This is. Did you see that? I saw it. You got it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. How you doing? Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes. A jet, but you're cheap.
Oh, I didn't need to go there?
You're doing this. You're letting the pen do the work.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and have them touch. Have them touch.
Oh, that's all, oh.
And
That's
that's
better than what.
where, that's where your letters are going to be.
Right.
Okay. How you doing?
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Yes, ma'am.
Sample with an
Yes.
J, my first K was
Yes.
triple, second K is
Yes.
much better.
You got it. You got it. That's what it's Japan. Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
I'm worried about when it gets well.
Y'all are trying to letter and y'all getting ahead of yourself.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna make it a whole lot easier for you.
Yeah, that was so good.
Yes. Okay. All right. So come up here and turn it sideways. That is the pin. It is going to make a strong. Touch it here. Touch it here. Touch it here. Make sure those edges touch. There's your 4. That's where.
Okay.
That's how you draw your lines. Yes. Yes. How you doing?
That part's easy.
Yes, ma'am.
That part's easy.
Yeah.
I'm working on that.
That part you have to.
Yeah, you practice.
Yeah.
You have to practice.
I'll tell you something that was the hardest thing that I ever did was, and I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna show y'all. But even after years, you may not can do it. Say for instance, I'm doing an exaggerated letter and I'm gonna start there and it's gonna come down here.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's gonna be perfectly straight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we go. Ignore the fact that it didn't have enough ink. Go back in, fill it in. Fill it in. That's it. Here's the secret. When you're having to do a long one, you've got graph paper, so learn to use that edge on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
So when you pull it, I'm not looking at this. I'm looking down here. I am not even paying any attention to that.
What angle are you coming down at?
It's
Straight.
45. I'm doing 45. Doing 45. And you see this nib is a little bit old. You're supposed to throw away nibs when they get dull or whatever. I don't think I've ever thrown one away. They become favorites. Some people have their own personal cup or their own, special thing they have that's just theirs. That happens with our pen nibs. And I wasn't going to take time, but I will show you. This is the different pen nibs. And see this one right here, you're thinking the other was little, but see how tiny that is? You see how tiny? Imagine how small those little squares would be. So, there are different sizes, different nibs. We don't have time to go in that right now. We gotta get back to business. All right, so we've talked about the letter height. Everybody knows how to do their X height. And everybody knows how to put the lines at the top. You go up 3 more squares for your ascender. You go 3 more squares down for your descender. That's on your paper, okay? If you forget that, make sure you see that. Now, the angles, you see I've got 3 different pin angles there. I've got a 52 to a 55. That 55 is more than likely going to be your pointed nib. And I will show you that it doesn't always have to be an oblique. And by that, I mean this. I can do the same thing with this, turning the paper, as I can do with this. The difference is if you use an oblique, you've already got the pin angle. You don't have to worry about it. Okay. This one, it's got the flange on. So it's already got this 55, 52 to 55 angles. See that? The copper plate is easier and harder at the same time. And I prefer to teach somebody after they've learned to control the broad pen. It just seems to make it a little bit more easier as to what you're doing. People look at this and they're like, what in the world? So don't want to confuse you any more than I already have. Now, the other angles on here, the 45 is the one I use most often. It's used on the foundational, it's used on textura, Gothic, what everybody knows is black letter, but there's about 4 or 5 different hands in that category. I use a 45. 30-degree angle, that's going to be your Carolingian and your Celtic ancho. And I'll show you right quick what that is. Okay, so I've got it just a little bit flatter, and it's coming out just a little bit different. And you notice I didn't draw a line because I'm used to it. So that's Celtic. Now, let's get back to foundational. The other thing I want to point out before we get started, you know what the first diagram is. You know what the third is. You know what the angles are. This is the one that everybody has a problem. Because it's one thing to write foundational, and then you go to italic. And italic has a 5-degree slant. So not only are you having to worry about the slant of your pen nib, you have to worry about the slant of the letter. And that's what you see up there. You see the H that is vertical? That's foundational. The slant of the italic, it's a little bit harder to do. And everybody comes to me and they want to learn calligraphy and they're all like, I want to do that italic. I hate italic. Because if I get up and go get a drink of water, when I come back, it's off. It will change. So I choose to teach the foundational so you've got a good grasp of what you're doing with the pen and how the letters need to be done. Then move on to italic. Okay? So what time is it? Okay, let's try some letters, okay? I know y'all want to. And I want you to at least be able to read this ductus. That's what it's called. My husband's been married to me for 35 years, and when I said I was working on the ductus, he goes, what is that? All these years?
I know.
The ductus is the letters with each stroke numbered. It's your pattern. We're not going to start with the ABC thing. We're going to go to the basic strokes first, and that will be your I.
Are we doing the fat pen or the skinny pen?
That's your choice. I would suggest the fat one just so you can see what you're doing.
Okay.
That small one is a little bit smaller. So when you're doing an eye and you notice it's got a little curve to it, if you want to skip the little curve at the beginning, I am totally happy with that till you get it down pat, until you learn how to do the pen. Okay. And what it is it just starts below, like this is my line. It starts below the line and it touches it, kisses it, and then you're coming back down. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Start on this baseline. Remember the baseline you had before? Y'all spent some time drawing it? We'll just have you a nice roll there so that we can work. Okay? So, looking at the ductus, it's a straight line down. Okay? Nobody panic. Y'all already do this. Okay? So you start right there. The right edge of your nib is going to start at the top of that line. See that? Bring it straight down. Now, if you want to put a little curve on it, just slightly touch and move your pen over. And if you want to just try to do that by itself, you just come down.
Figured out how to make it work for a lefty.
For me,
Sometimes
I'm starting at the bottom and going the opposite direction.
you can do that if you're not doing a dip. Because if you do a dip pen, you're gonna
It's not gonna work.
splatter all over the place.
With this thing, I'm making it work.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people that are left-handed, I think they turn the paper like.
Yeah, I've heard of people who do it like this way. They totally turn the paper 90 degrees. Okay,
Left-handed calligraphers make the most beautiful calligraphy.
I know, and I have no idea how they do it.
I don't know, I'm sorry.
I have trouble writing on the whiteboard without getting ink all over my hand.
So this stroke right here, where you go down and you get right there to the edge and you just move it over. It's not a big movement at all. You're just going down. My pen will work. Go down and just move over. You're lifting up at the same time. That's hard and you'll need to practice it. The other one is the same way. You're going to start, go just a tiny bit, touch the line, and then come straight down. So those are some of the strokes that make the alphabet look better. Makes it look a little classier. But you can just do a straight line if you want to. And then your dot will just be not a square, but one of those trapezoid thingies. Because this is not straight. This is a diagonal. Okay, so make a few of those. Get used to that. And then go up, do your little three things right here. Then try an L. Then you're going to start the same way. I'm going to say my line is right here. Start with the right side of your nib, touching that top line, 45-degree angle, and then bring it down. There's your L. Here's your I. There's your L. And, well, I hate to start on a K. I don't like K's. But a T. The T does not go all the way at the top. The L's, the D, the K, those go all the way to the top of the ascender line. The T stays a little bit under it, but it's the same thing. Just bring it down. Cross it at the top of the baseline. Not baseline, sorry, waistline. Your baseline is what they sit on. The waistline is where they fit, for lack of a better word. That's your X height. So you put that mark right there at that waistline. Okay. Questions? We're fixing to go get deeper, so y'all need to ask now. Because we're fixing to do an O.
Oh.
If you can get the I's and the O's, then you can get 80% of this and it'll be fine.
Broaden
Mhm.
Right here, or that's.
It's up to you, but I advise the broad one so you can see what you're doing. So here's my waistline. Here's my baseline. All right, everybody watch this. When I do the O is going to be a circle, but it's going to end up fat and thin at different places, okay? Because you've got that 45-degree angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start not at the top of this line, the waistline. I'm going to start a little bit before, okay? Everybody see that? I'm not touching. And I'm going to keep the nib at the same angle, and I'm going to come down and touch the bottom. Okay. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to go over this part and touch the top and come down and try to meet it. There it goes. Yep. So if you kind of do it a little faster, it helps. But it will take practice. You come down around and go back up and around. Yes, no,
Maybe so.
I see you shaking your head. Now, one of the things that you will learn when you start doing this regularly, and I don't know if you can see it when I do it. I'm going to see if I can turn around a little bit. When I do an O, I start here and I'm rocking back and forth a little bit to get my ink going. And then when I come around, I'm going, but I'm lifting. Okay? Like a plane taking off, I'm lifting up. And when I go up here, I'm coming down into that stroke, and then I'm coming around and I'm going through it. Now that is very hard, but it takes practice because I've only been doing this, 100 years, and it still don't work.
I'll be in your session.
Okay, we're gonna have some fun tomorrow. We're gonna add color. That's pretty good. You got pretty good control of the pen, so that's good. All right, see you tomorrow. Okay, so I'm gonna do an O again. It's hard to talk through it, but I want you to see how I'm doing my hand so that it will flow. The thing about calligraphy is you do kind of want it to flow. You don't want it to be jerky. And you may not make the letter exactly right, but if you got that flow and it all looks consistent, then that goes a long way. So coming down, around, I'm lifting up, I'm going back up here, I'm coming down and around. When we do the C, The C is the same way. I'm gonna start coming down, around, up. I'm gonna come back up here and I'm just gonna stop. Everybody see that? For the rounded letters, you come down, around, up, and the C stops. And I'll show the E that does the same thing. Comes down, around, up, go back around, stop, and then come this way. Don't try to go in. The thing about calligraphy is because of these dip pens, if you try to go up or to the left, it will splatter ink. So the markers will let you cheat and go back to the left, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to get in that. All right, any questions? That's kind of a lot to be practicing. Are you good?
You just did an E, right?
I did an E. You want to see it again?
And I was like practicing
Alright.
O still.
All right. So I'm rocking here to get it going. I'm coming down, around, and up. Come back around this way and stop just as I start to curve. I come over here and I come over and meet it. Yeah. Now here's a combination for you. Let's do this one right quick. All right, we're gonna come down, around. We're gonna come back around and do an O. But then we're gonna go back up. And we're gonna start right here and we're gonna go straight down. There's your cue. Now, I personally, and this is a personal, like I said, everybody has their own little quirks that they do. So when I do a cue, I come down this way and then I go here and I stop. And then I come down. It doesn't make it quite as round as some of these, but I happen to like the look better. But that's up to you. If you want to complete the circle and then bring your stroke down, you can. Okay. Let's sing some really brown.
Don't even look at mine.
Okay, look, you know what it is? It's you're rocking back and forth.
I know,
It's not that you don't have it, it's the fact that you're rocking back and forth. You gotta be stern with your marker.
and just keep going. Don't come back and forth.
Okay, just when you put that on there, okay,
Just keep going.
Okay.
Gotcha.
when you are squeegeeing your car window,
Mm-hmm.
do you just squeeze part of it? You put that thing on there.
Hey, come on down.
Pull the line, pull the line.
Okay.
Mhm. I like, I do like it. Mhm. Yep, that one right there, awesome. You see how it's thin here and here, and it's thick there and there?
Yes.
That means you've got that 45-degree angle. Okay. How you doing? Can't give up yet, we got more letters to do.
Oh, she's been,
Yeah,
I like my O's.
well,
Some of
okay,
them.
that's fine, you've got a very modern touch to this, which is fine.
Okay.
But I want you to make sure that you are getting this O. See how that's thin? That's thin. 45-degree angle of this. Yeah. That is. So, can I show you?
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna. we'll just put it like there, and I'm gonna clear it down because this thing is off. That is the wrong size, that's about
Mhm.
support. But that's this, the shape, that and that.
Oh,
That's good. Very good.
the bigger one is pretty. Yay.
Yeah,
Very satisfying.
and this right here is turning your pen. Keep the handle. Keep the handle, you got it. How you doing? I'm liking it.
I don't know about the E, like, I
It's
think I'm
like,
like
well,
doing
that's,
it like, I don't know, like, it's like that, but then I feel like that's too high, does that make sense?
yes,
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, how do I like, not do this?
okay, watch one time, you will have it.
Okay.
Because you, I see you're already getting it, so that's.
Thank you.
So you're right here. Okay. Right here. Gonna come
That
back
one
to
don't
the-
look so bad.
You're coming.
It's clean, it's clean.
Lord, have mercy. I think I finally got one cute that ain't so bad.
All of them. You're not doing it.
That one fine.
Like this.
Now this
And the E is the same way. When you do this, you're gonna come down, you're gonna come here. And then you're gonna come.
Okay, I thought it was like one whole thing, does that make sense? Okay,
No, do it in
so it's like,
parts.
okay,
Do it in parts. Do it in parts.
okay, I didn't look at that. Perfect, all right,
See, again, that marker lets you do that.
yeah.
If you did it with a dip pen,
Mhm.
it's like,
Okay.
yes, ma'am. Fix it.
Okay.
The right.
So, yes, mine's like all over the page.
They won't be so two boxes. Don't go by the frame. Don't go by the screen. You hold out what you learn.
Well,
Because of the need of the four.
I did it cute.
And I just was not. But.
Started off kind of crazy, but I realized like I really gotta go in those lines, so that helps. That helps.
Sure.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
spirit
well,
code, yeah, I have the
You have an
cheat code.
advantage.
Yeah. The coding skills, yeah.
I love your artwork.
Mercy.
Yeah, there is some portraits in the library. It's, but Dr. John's is the ones that are hanging on the wall and mine are like on little canvas pages.
You've got the idea.
You
You doing okay?
The studio at Loveville anymore. I'd love to visit there.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I knew we wouldn't get through it.
Yeah, I was at Belk for a long time. I worked at Belk for. I think I know how to make it work for me. Right now I'm looking for a different job.
I don't know if I could do it, I think I can explode,
You're fine.
but I'm getting it.
Oh, yeah, I love to. I want to do like a book illustration.
Well,
Do something already, have some use for it.
I'm gonna part that I can do my phone number or my email.
Okay. Calligraphy is not my stick.
You enjoy it?
I enjoyed it, but
Yeah.
It was fun. I like it, I mean, tomorrow.
late, I can't hardly write my name sometime without losing the,
Like this, yeah.
and I used to have beautiful handwriting. Calligraphy is beautiful though.
I looks like you can.
well, I hope you enjoyed it.
I had fun. I did.
I will very much like it is part of with questions. I don't want to leave you hanging. And I know it takes a lot longer than just an hour to do this.
Are you in Athens or Huntsville?
I'm actually in Tony. So I will be happy to give you my card and y'all can email me and just say, hey, calligraphy question, and I'll try to get back to you.
Okay, you said the email?
Darling,
I'll give you my card.
thank you.
I would love a card.
Yes, I would love it.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We should get you to
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do they do that here or do you do it?
I can do it,
Oh, I live in Huntsville. Do you? Not before.
Tony, and I'm also a theater, and I go to Nashville.
I mean, like wherever I gotta go, something like that.
Well, no, I'm in the Nashville.
Oh.
And if you'll be around tomorrow,
Yeah.
my work is.
There's a lot of beautiful. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna be there tomorrow. Okay. So, I'm very excited. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You guys just
Another
say,
side of my brain.
class, I got it.
I need that included.
I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, we're gonna do something totally different tomorrow, okay?
Great.
We're gonna get it confused. Fantastic point, what I need.
This was good. Oh, you don't forget, because I'm gonna see it again. Yes, I was surprised, but.
Thank you. There's no way to teach this in an hour.
You know.
But
Get it? Hey, 2 weeks with a group of kids and I managed to get them all using so. I taught them the basics of everything.
India, I'm gonna.
Somebody left that. Do that. What's your first name again?
Well, on good.
let's see tomorrow, we're working on the mural.
Dr.
I'll be doing a little bit of both. I'll be working on the mural, then I'm gonna take a break to attend,
Real, okay.
some sessions, so hopefully I'll catch yours at the end. And I know,
You'll see me.
Jessica Sparrow, I really wanna catch hers, cause she's doing
doctor name?
some poem game or something like that, but it can be used for art, it can be used at home. It's fun. Are you more? It is.
I know my eyes are tired.
Yes.
I really wanna go now.
Remind me of that. Okay. I'll understand.
Made 4 of us. One for me, one for my mother.
Tomorrow we're gonna.
So.
I really like
Two
that,
of the
that
four
was
of us
so
back.
fun.
Stepmom and I are the only two left alive. I have my mom's and my brother's trying to find my grandmother's.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not gonna know.
No, it took me forever to hold it the right way, because I wasn't drawing straight lines no matter how many times I.
My mom
had
had
it
it
finally,
Thank you.
got it. Yeah, it takes a minute to even get used to that.
Yes, it does.
Your button?
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for the class.
You're welcome.
That was a little button that was left.
Oh.
You can prepare, girl.
Oh, this is my, what I call my soft kit.
Yeah.
That I carry for calligraphy. I have a bigger one that is the size of a big pool box that I could sit on it in case there's not a seat. And it's got 3 layers and stuff. So
That's so cool.
I just grabbed this up and I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this. So I'm just gonna. So
Yeah, that works well.
it does for the most part. But usually one thing is left in the wrong box.
Yeah.
So. I think everybody learned enough.
Oh, yeah, I saw people were doing alphabets. They got started on the letters. I feel like that's a
Yeah.
big win.
Yeah.
You know? I'll fill out the little survey.
Well, thank you. I didn't even think about that. I wasn't actually concerned about doing
I gotta find it somewhere in the booklet or I can scan it.
The trick is putting everything back in my thing here.
Yeah, so it all fits correctly.
Yeah, into my socks. I'm like, what in the world? But check this out, girl.
By the way, you're still recording.
Oh, okay.
It must
I
be
don't
like,
know.
maybe the mouse.
Well, he said to just hit end.